Hi guys, welcome back to my video. Now I'm going to explain to you the difference between private IP address and public IP address. So basically, everything that is inside the router here forms a local area network, and all hosts on a local area network requires what we call a private IP address. How do you recognize a private IP address? A private IP address will start with either 10 or 172.16 or 192.168 or 172.31. It will start with those. So any IP address that starts with a 10 or 172.16 dot something or 172.31 anything or 192.168, it's called the private IP address. For you to get an idea what is private IP address and what is public IP address, refer to the example here. For example, you have a flat, a big flat, where there are many people living. This big flat, you have many people living, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 20 families living in this flat. But this flat has only one address, for example, one postal address. It has only one postal address, where the postman comes in every day and delivers all the letters. Now, how will we know to which family the letters will go? For example, each room here has a number which is internal to the building. I mean, the postman will not know, for example, which is internal to the building. So basically, when someone sends a letter, it writes the postal address and just, for example, 101. This goes to the postal address, and then from the 101, they know exactly where it should go. That naming convention for each family here is what we call as private IP. It's internal to the building, and the main address where the postman comes and delivers all letters, which is the same address for all the 20 families, is the public IP address. So basically, all network needs a public IP address. Let me explain to you in more detail. So basically, you have different hosts, host A, host B, host C. All those hosts are internal to the network. For example, this host might have an IP address of 192.168.200.1, subnet mask .255.255.255.0, and the default gateway is 198.168.200. Sorry, this is .100 because .1 is for the default gateway. That's the IP address, that's the subnet mask, that's the default gateway. Where's the default gateway? Here it is. That IP address is 192 here, 168.200.1, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Okay? Every IP address, for example, this is .100, host B has .101, host C has .102, the subnet mask will be the same, the default gateway will be the same. Now, this PC communicates and go and requests facebook.com, www.facebook.com. As soon as you type www.facebook.com, what this PC will require, it will require the IP address of facebook.com. It will go and query the DNS. For example, the DNS is Google DNS. It goes and queries Google DNS, get the public IP address, give to that PC, and from that PC it will route and get Facebook here. So basically, how will Facebook is here? Facebook server is here, www.facebook.com. How Facebook will know where to route this information is via the public IP address of that router. A router is one of the only devices on a network. You have routers and firewall normally that has a public IP address as well. That public IP address is the main address. If you take the analogous to what I'll explain to you with the flat, so basically it has a main address. This is the public IP address. The public IP address is the IP address where the world views you, knows you. For example, Facebook won't know what is inside this network. It will route that information to the public IP address, and through a process called NATing, this will get back to the it will route it to, it will route it to the public IP address, and through a process called NATing, it will route the information to the correct private IP address. So basically, the router is a device that has a public IP address and a private IP address as well. A public IP address can be any address. For example, it can be an address starting for 190.200.110, anything. For example, 41. That's it. That's a public IP address. So basically, this is a public IP address and this is a private IP address. Now I'm going to explain to you in more detail how the communication process goes. You have your router here. Your router has ports. This is your router. Assuming you have the default gateway. Your router is connected to your switch. And from here connected to the internet. Okay. From here, have your PC. On your PC, for example, you have this IP address 192.168.100.100. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. And default gateway 192.168.100.1. That's your IP. That's your subnet mask. That's your default gateway. The DNS is 8.8.8.8. Okay. The internal private IP address of my router is 192.168.100.1. I have a public IP address as well here on my router, public IP address. My router is connected to my ISP, which is the Internet Service Provider. My ISP is connected, for example, here in France. France point of presence. From France, for example, there is the famous DNS server. 8.8.8.8. Now from France, for example, here I am in UK. It's connected via another link in UK. Here I have a website www.yahoo.com. Now, from this PC, I open my Chrome, for example. On my Chrome, I type www.yahoo.com. My PC now, for that PC to give me the web page yahoo.com, first of all, it will need the public IP address of yahoo.com. Where it will get the public IP address of yahoo.com, my PC will query its DNS server. It will say, hey, can you get me the public IP of yahoo.com? So basically your PC will contact your gateway and will ask your gateway to route you to 8.8.8.8. So your PC will contact your gateway. From your gateway will go to your ISP, back to the point of presence to another ISP here, and then it gets to the Google DNS server. It will ask the Google DNS server to give the public IP address of www.yahoo.com. As soon as you get the public IP address of yahoo.com, that routes back here to your public IP address of your router. Your router knows exactly which private IP address this request came from. It will route the information to that PC. It will give you, hey, the private IP address, for example, is a.b.c.d. As soon as your PC will get the public IP address of www.yahoo.com, it is only then that it goes to yahoo.com, take the web page, and get back on your screen, and you see Yahoo appears on your screen. This process, as you have seen, that this process is 2 or 3 processes, and it takes like like 1 or 2 seconds to query the DNS, to get the public IP address, and to take the web page back to you, for example. This is very important. So you have learned some important concept. Without the DNS, you can't get to any website via its URL, the Universal Resource Locator, for example, www.facebook.com. It's a URL. Behind any URL is what we call, there is a public IP address. And that public IP address is very important for your computer to get you the web page that you are requesting. Without the public IP address, your computer cannot route any information. And the service that converts any website to its public IP address is called the DNS. The DNS is basically a server. It's running a software with multiple entries, with all the mapping, for example, each website, what is the public IP address, so that it can take you to any public IP, to any website that you want. So basically that's DNS. Now for some minutes I'm going to explain to you what is DHCP.